Ladies and gentle gamers, welcome back to Be Determined. In today's video, we're going to go over all of the new things with Diaz as mayor. I plan on doing this with all of the mayors as they get elected, so if you want to see more, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're on our way to 12,000 subscribers, and every single subscription is free. Plus, today is the final day that you can join in on our 800 million coin giveaway. To learn how to enter, make sure to check out my latest video with Future77. Our wiki speedrun rematch was a ton of fun, so make sure to check it out. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so this is the first time Diaz is being elected with her new perks, and unfortunately this time she only has two. So she has Shopping Spree, which is one of her old perks. It's the only old perk that's sticking around for her, but one of her new perks is Stock Exchange, which basically adds the stock of stonks as a item that can be bought in a bunch of different ways, and it can be used to buy other items. If you do /warped stonks, it will take you over to this building right behind the bazaar. You can see the bazaars right here. This is just on the other side of it. These NPCs, Liz and Richard, will only be available while Diaz is elected. So as far as Liz goes, this is where you can trade stock of stonks for actual useful items. The golden bounty increases your scavenger level by 1, but you have to have the weapon on scavenger 5, so it won't let you waste it. There's also the avaricious chalice, which is useful for a couple of things. Currently, it is used to make the emerald rings upgrade, which is emerald artifact. You have to have a chalice as well as 36 enchanted emerald blocks, plus the emerald ring to upgrade it to the emerald artifact. And that's not the only talisman you can get with this update. We'll go over the rest in a moment. The other thing that you need a chalice for is to upgrade the Crown of Greed to the Crown of Avarice. To do that, you'll need 2 chalices, a stack of griffin feathers, 24 enchanted gold blocks, and the Crown of Greed. Crown of Avarice is a pretty cool item. It goes in museum. Basically, coins you collect from killing mobs are consumed by the helmet, and you gain extra damage and magic find for each digit of coins collected. It does cap at 1 billion coins, which does take a while to get to. I'm not really sure how much better it is than any other items, but from what I've heard, at least in alpha testing, once you got it to a build, it was insane at how much damage it did. The problem is it does consume the coins that you gain while wearing it, so it's not very good for ghost grinding, which usually is the most applicable place for magic find. So it might be useful if you're meleeing mobs in Diana event, but most of its uses aren't extremely practical simply because of it taking the coins that you earn. But at the very least, it does go in museum, which is pretty useful. The next item is the golden fragment, which upgrades 3 items. It does cost 3 stock of stonks. Unlike these other 2 items, it's a little bit cheaper. The Avarice Chalice is very expensive at 50, but the golden fragments is pretty nice with only a cost of 3. Basically, it is useful for upgrading your Midas sword and your Midas staff. So you can see the base Midas staff does 130 damage, 250 strength, 50 intelligence, whereas the upgraded one does 130 damage, 250 strength, and 50 intelligence, which is literally the same thing. So you can't tell what the upgrade actually is until you look down at the greed ability. If you look at the original one, it says the maximum bonus of this item is 26,000 if the bid was 100 mil or higher, whereas on this one, the maximum bonus of the item is 34,000 if the bid was 500 mil or higher. So it basically just increases the amount of money you can pay for it. Works the same way with the Midas sword. Normally it's capped at 50 mil, but with this update it's capped at 250 if you frag it. So it goes from a maximum damage of 120 to maximum damage of 225. On the alpha, a lot of people tested it and it was better than Dark Claymore, but they have nerfed it since, so it is not better than Dark Claymore as an LCM in dungeon, but it is still a very viable weapon, but it does come at a hefty cost. Now, if you already had a Midas sword and you paid over 50 mil for it, it may say that you've only paid 50 mil for it if you haven't fragged it, but once you frag it, it should update to the number that you actually paid for it. But also, if you bought this from the dark auction or the staff, either way, and you want to frag it, but you paid less than the limit for it, so say you paid 270 million coins for a Midas staff, you can increase it to 500 mil if you go over to the Zarina NPC right here. You put your item on the left and the amount of coins that you want to put onto it on the right. So if you had a 270 million coin Midas staff, you want to upgrade it to 500 mil, you put 230 mil here on the right, and it will combine it and add the 230 mil onto your staff, so you can pay exactly 500 million coins for it. The third item that is upgraded with those fragments, though, is a pretty huge one. It's the Daedalus Axe. So the base day axe gains 4 damage per taming level and copies the stats from your active pet, whereas the upgraded one gains 5 damage per taming level. So if you are a taming 60 player, then you are gaining 60 extra damage, plus this bottom perk, which is gain 0.5 magic find against mythological creatures for each bestiary tier you have unlocked for mythological creatures. So if we look at mythological bestiary, you can see there are a total of 6 and they all max out at 20. So for every one of these you have maxed, that is 10 magic finds. So you can get up to 60 extra magic find if you have all of these maxed. But again, that is only effective against mythological creatures. So it's not just 60 magic find for everything. It's only for mythological creatures. But this is a pretty big deal if you are a Chimera grinder. This is a major upgrade and it's definitely worth it. Finally, there's the freshly minted coins, which are used for a ton of things, but specifically talisman upgrades. There are 2 talisman lines that have received some major upgrades. The first of which is the Scavenger Talisman. So at the base level, it grants 0.5 coins per level of the killed enemy. At the ring level, it gets to 0.6. And at the max Scavenger Artifact level, it gets to 0.75. But the upgrades are pretty pricey. You do need a total of 8 freshly minted coins plus 4 bloodstained coins. The way you make these is just a freshly minted coins plus 4 hemoglass. So in total for the first upgrade, you're going to need 12 total coins plus the hemoglass to make them bloodstained. Then to get to the artifact, you need blood soaked coins, which require bloodstained coin plus another 32 hemoglass, so 36 hemoglass on top of your regular minted coins for each one of these blood soaked coins. So it's another 20 mint coins plus a ton of hemoglass to upgrade to the scavenger artifact. Then there is the ring of coins, which is an upgrade of the talisman of coins. Only needs 4 freshly minted coins for that one. The artifact of coins requires another 16, and the relic of coins requires another stack. So to go from the talisman of coins to the relic of coins, you're going to need a total of 84 of these freshly minted coins, which you can pay a single stock of stonks to get. So in total for all of these talisman upgrades, you're going to need 114 stock of stonks just for those talismans alone, not including the emerald ring, which is another 50 stock of stonks. So 164 total stock of stonks for all of these talisman upgrades. And that isn't including the avarice crown or whatever it's called, or any of the Midas staff, Midas sword, or day axe upgrades. So it is a lot of stock of stonks to get all of this. So they must have added ways to get them, right? Indeed they have. That's where Richard comes in. You can talk to him, and basically every in-game month he is going to sell a bunch of stock of stonks. So generally, if you don't want to get too many of them, or if you want to get them at the cheapest price you possibly can, you just bid the minimum of 2 million coins. And right now I'm in the top 2,500, but as time goes on, you can see more and more people are bidding. I'll probably end up being in the everyone else section, where I just get 1 stock of stonk for 2 million coins. That isn't a bad rate, but again, only 12 or 13 of these auctions are going to go on every time Diaz is mayor, so it can get pretty rough out here. The first auction when she's mayor ends in like an hour and 40 minutes after she's elected, so that's the best one to bid on. I managed to get 10 stock of stonks for a total of 75 million coins, but if I were to try to buy that amount right now on Bazaar, you can see it is quite a bit cheaper. So as the prices fluctuate, the amount that you should pay is going to change, but that is not the only way you can get stock of stonks. As you can see, the relic of coins gives you the occasional chance to get stock of stonks. According to the alpha patch notes, and the recent patch notes don't say it's been changed, it's like a 1 in a million chance. It is extremely rare to actually just drop a stock of stonks, so don't count on that happening too much even if you have this. But you can also go down to Shen's auction if you have the ability to, and buying any of these items and winning them from the auctions can give you stock of stonks. Every time you win an item, it's 10 stock of stonks, and that goes for any of these, so not just the special ones, but any of these items. And speaking of Shen's auction, that's where Diaz's third perk does come in. Again, she doesn't have it in game right now, but volume trading doubles the item quantity from Shen's auctions, Shen's special, and Rift Shens on the year that she's elected. 2 additional Shen special auctions will be available for the duration of Diaz being elected as mayor. So basically, when you go to this menu in the game, while she has that perk, there should be 4 total items down here instead of just 2 like we have the racing helmet and the wizard wand right now. For more info, you can see right down here, she doubles the number of Shen's auctions again for that year. So we'll have 4 total items there at the bottom. She doubles the number of items at those auctions. So normally you can see that this item will have 10 bidders win it. Whenever she has that perk, there will be 20 bidders who win. Also, if there is a permanent item that the admins have cooked up but haven't released to Shen's auction yet, if Diaz gets elected with this perk, they will release it. But only auctions that end while her term is available will count. So gotta keep an eye out for that for sure. Finally, her third perk is that the elected minister will appear in the next election with all of their available perks. So this is a really nice one. Basically, if we ever get to the point where we have like all 2 perk mayors and we don't really want to elect any of them, but Diaz is an option and she has that perk, then we can elect her and then have whatever mayor we want to have all 4 perks as the minister. So should be pretty helpful with us not getting stuck on a ton of bad mayors like we have in the past. But I do really like those changes. Now again, according to the patch notes, Diaz is bringing more stock of stonks into circulation, and they can be obtained from winning stonks auctions, dark auctions, and Shen's auctions. I have won a dark auction this Diaz, and she does have the perk stock exchange right now. I have not received a stock of stonks from winning that auction, so I'm not sure if it's bugged or if there's a special way to receive it. I tried talking to Jerry, I tried talking to Diaz, I tried talking to all of the new NPCs. I even went and talked to Sirius and Lucius, all those dark auction NPCs. None of them had anything for me, so it's very possible this is something that was on the alpha and they decided to change it, and they forgot to remove it from the new forums post with the patch notes, but it's either been removed or it's bugged. So if you're going to dark auctions with the intentions of winning some stock of stonks, just be careful how much you spend. But that should be everything with the Diaz Mayor update. If you guys did enjoy or you did learn something, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. We're on our way to 12,000 subs. And again, if you want to enter the 800 million coin giveaway, it ends tomorrow. So make sure to watch my video with Future77. I go in depth on how to enter there, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have an amazing rest of your day, and God bless.